You've probably seen Back to the Future mentioned on the internet quite a bit of late, and just to enter into the spirit of things, after rewatching Jaws 18 in readiness for the sequel, I fired up my Hover Converted Spectrum Plus 2 to sample ImageWorks' 1990 movie tie-in Back to the Future Part 2, which, as is the nature of movie tie-in games, has a tenuous link to the film of the same name. What we have here is effectively 5 minigames, ostensibly set in the various time zones used in the film: the present day, 1985, the temporal nexus of 1955, and the incredibly futuristic October 2015, each representing a key scene from the movie. Being such a big game, it's multi-load hell on a 48K machine. The 128K version is better, and also has some rather nice in-game music, including a rendition of the main theme to accompany Level 1. Speaking of which, Level 1 is a hoverboard chase through Hill Valley, and I'm here to tell you that hoverboarding is not as easy as it looks, especially while having a fight with some 21st century goon or trying to avoid old Biff, who is a complete git and will take you down with that cane of his if you get close enough. And it's okay, once you get to grips with it, the scrolling is smooth and takes you past some recognizable landmarks like the Texaco SAR and Cafe 80s, and features a few nice little animations like Marty's foot pushing off as he hoverboards along, and the recognizably hunched figure of the aforementioned old Biff. Along the way you can pick up plutonium and other random goodies to replenish some of the energy you lose trying to fight off Griff and his minions. It's kind of a variation on the Paperboy theme, only with a hoverboard instead of a BMX, and punching bad guys instead of delivering papers. And you thought Back to the Future was a wholesome family movie. It's a single long level but with a few save points along the way, so after a bit of practice you reach the courthouse, get Griff arrested, save Marty Jr. and move on to level 2. Which I found immensely confusing. In theory it's a puzzle game based, loosely, on some kind of automatic door system the filmmakers think Holmes might have in 2015. You have to figure out how to open these doors in combination in order to lead Jennifer safely out of the house without meeting her future family, all the while battling the color clash which makes it nigh on impossible to even see the characters at times, never mind figuring out which is which. Colorful, but mind-bending, and not always in a good way. Level 3 sees us safely back in 1985, but it's gone wrong. We're in an alternate timeline where Hill Valley has become the set of a pants beat 'em up, and the only way to fix it is to mash keys wildly whenever someone approaches and hope you manage to, well, beat 'em up. Seriously, I know Marty never really got violent in the films, but this level could have done with some decent combat moves. On the plus side, the background music is nicely atmospheric, the graphics are nice, and I'm pretty sure I recognize the alternate Strickland, which is impressive. Also, the bad guy's bullets seem to pass right through Marty, just as if he isn't there, which he won't be if he doesn't get back to 1955 and sort this mess out. Which is of course done by means of a sliding block type puzzle game in level 4. It's colorful, animated, and accompanied by a jolly little tune that may or may not have been Johnny B. Good, a good little game if you like that sort of thing, and a break from the action sequences either way. But level 5 gets straight back into it, with another hoverboard chase through Hill Valley, this time with 1955 style set dressing. And it seems like even more bad guys out to beat you up, which makes the whole thing a little too long and difficult for my liking, although again the artwork is very nice, especially the old-timely cars. I just wish I could figure out how to get a tow from one of them. Which is of course done by means of a sliding block type puzzle game in level 4. It's colorful, animated, and accompanied by a jolly little tune that may or may not have been Johnny B. Good, a good little game if you like that sort of thing, and a break from the action sequences either way. But level 5 gets straight back into it, with another hoverboard chase through Hill Valley, this time with 1955 style set dressing. And it seems like even more bad guys out to beat you up, which makes the whole thing a little too long and difficult for my liking, although again the artwork is very nice, especially the old-timely cars. I just wish I could figure out how to get a tow from one of them. For the fourth level, the programmers had initially intended to create a level that would somehow use the sandbags featured in the film's band scene. As the team was unable to devise a purpose for the sandbags, they ultimately chose to create the level as a sliding puzzle game instead. 11. Back to the Future Part 2 was released in the UK in 1990, for Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Atari ST, Commodore 64, and ZX Spectrum. 128. In the US, Konami published the DOS version in early 1991. 12. A version for the Sega Master System was released in the UK later that year. Back to the Future Part 2 is a 1990 action game based on the 1989 film of the same name. It was developed and published by ImageWorks for Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Atari ST, Commodore 64, MS-DOS, Master System, and ZX Spectrum. The game has 5 levels based on scenes from the film, and was criticized as a poor conversion of the film. It was followed by Back to the Future Part 3. Back to the Future Part 2 was criticized as a poor conversion of the film.